Welcome back to my channel, and today we're gonna get into this short, funky cut, baby. Yes, we are. And guess what? This is a 27 piece. Yes, it is. I'm gonna show y'all how to put this together with this frontal, and you're gonna save a lot of money doing this, and anybody can do this. I actually use my bow hole lace tape to hold it together across the front. I didn't do glue because I want this to be something I can take on and off. I wanna show y'all how to do it. Let's get into it. Guys, we're gonna be working with a 13 by 4 with this 27 piece hair by Milky Way. I'm going to be using a mesh dome cap. Some people use a stocking cap, but I like the mesh dome cap. I feel like it stays together, and we're gonna be using just your regular bonding glue. All right, guys, we're gonna be using a 13 by 4 frontal. It's already been bleached and colored jet black, and we're going to be doing our 27 piece. I'm using the Milky Way brand. You can get this from your local beauty supply store. The frontal actually comes from my website, and I'm just going to put these two together, baby. We're about to make some magic. You're also going to need your mesh dome cap. You could use a stocking cap, but I just prefer the mesh dome cap. I feel like it lasts longer. And you're going to need some saran wrap. I'm using some Pump It Up. And your blow dryer. All right, so I'm going to be making this for myself. I'm gonna be making it on me, but I'm also gonna use this actual canvas block. This canvas block is a 21-inch circumference, and I'm actually a 21-inch circumference. So that's gonna make it easy for me to make this wig. All right, so I'm gonna take this dome cap and I'm gonna actually put it on because I am making this for myself. So I need to establish where my ears are gonna be because that's super important. The ear is usually about 1.5 inches. So I know my ear is here. And my ear is here. And everything is centered. I also teach you how to do this on the sewing machine as well, but we're just gonna do something quick and easy that anybody can do with using our glue. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and protect my canvas block using the saran wrap. All right, guys, so this is what I love doing. It's gonna protect the actual canvas block. And even if you was doing this on a person, you can protect their actual hair so you can make this into a wig and they can reuse it. All right, so I'm actually pinning this down so it doesn't slide because of the actual saran wrap. It is a little slippery, so you wanna pin it to hold it in place. If you haven't noticed, on your canvas block, there are lines on it so that you can center your actual cap. And what I did, and you can notice here, I'll lift this up just a little bit. I'm centered right there. It's 3 lines in the back, and I'm centered right here where this V is with that cap. I'm centered on that middle line. That way everything is centered and it's gonna fall exactly where it needs to. I'm actually gonna prep my frontal before I put it on here just to mark it off. And I'm usually about 11.5 from left to right. Let's measure it just to make sure my head didn't grow. I'm still 11.5. We're gonna measure down in the front from where the actual hairline starts, because we're gonna have to pull this forward. That's why sometimes when people make a wig, it slides, they feel like it's sliding back because they didn't give themselves enough room, because we're gonna have to pull this forward. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark this 1.5 inches. If you are like new to doing this, you could do 2 inches. That'll make sure that you don't, you have enough room, but I usually do about 1.5 for me. And I'm starting it right there where the hair is. The hairline actually starts, not from the lace, but where that hairline starts at 1.5 inches. But if you feel like you need more room, or this your first time doing it, do 2 so that you give yourself room for error. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna measure out the part that you measured out. You're gonna bring that down and you're gonna pin it. I'm not gonna worry about you cutting off the sides prior to, because usually for a beginner, you could do that afterwards. So we'll just go ahead and pin it. I pulled it down to where I marked it right in the front. That's gonna give me that forehead space. And I'll put my first pin in the back, but I'm gonna pin it right here. I'm leaving some, I'm pulling it to the front just a little bit, just to give me a little, and I'll pin it there. Right there where that ear is. Same thing on the other side. Pulling it down to right there where that ear is and pinning it. All right, so you can go ahead and braid this hair out of your way. I'm not doing any kind of special braid. You can clip it or braid it. All right, so you're just gonna go ahead and do a regular stitching pattern, nothing special. This is just to hold it in place. All right, so now that the frontal is secured, we are ready to go ahead and add our 27 piece. A lot of people have been requesting this, so I said, you know what? Let me get in here and show y'all an easy way to do this. You're gonna get 3 different pieces and they're all different lengths. So let me show you what that looks like really quick. They kind of have like a little curl to them. This is the longer one and this is the middle one. I'm gonna start off by using my hair glue and my hairspray. This is gonna help bond the glue really well to the cap. I'm gonna start off with the medium length in the back to give it a little fringe. I already know where my ears are, so I'm not gonna go past that. We already marked them. So I'm gonna put this in a V shape. All right, so now I'm starting in the back. Taking my holding spray, spraying that area. This is gonna help the glue dry fast. So I'll do a couple of these here, maybe like 4, and then I'll go to my shorter length, and then I'll do a longer length. So I'm gonna go with my medium, about 4 of them here, and then I'll go in with some short because I want this area to be a little shorter, and then I'll go in with the longer pieces towards the top. All right, so I'm actually using the actual canvas block as a table to hold it together while I add that glue. And you're just gonna work your way up. All right, so I feel like 3 is enough for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and at this point, I'm going to start adding my shorter pieces right here in the middle. And if you need to draw yourself a guide, go ahead. Like, don't feel some type of way. Like, you can make this as easy or hard as you want. I feel like I wanna go, if you don't know like your points, I think I wanna keep everything the shortest here, and then I'll go in with the longer hair at the top. All right, so here's the ear part here. I'm already put one short track in. I don't wanna put anything on that ear portion, so I wanna go above it, and I'm just gonna continue to work up until I get to that line. Working my way up to the top in the same pattern, guys. It's basically very repetitious when you're doing this, and you're just gonna continue up until you get to the top. All right, so I am ready to start adding my longer 27 piece at the top, but I want you to like think about the fact that, you know, when I put this on, I'm gonna wear part on my right side, and I want the hair to shift in this direction. So that is exactly how I'm gonna put these tracks in, so that everything flows just like I am going to wear my hair. And it just makes it so much easier. It looks more natural. If you need to make these lines, you can. I don't always make these lines, but I do it, and this doesn't have to represent where you're gonna put a weft. You can put them in between. This is just to draw a guide. I actually do this when I do my sewing machine method, and I actually teach you that on my online at www.thehairdiagram.com. Go to my website, sign up for my online, and I teach you how you can do this on the sewing machine and make it last longer. But this is just something simple we're doing that anybody can put together. And now I'm working on the side, like I said, where the hair is going to distribute most of its weight. This way it looks most natural. All right, so now we are complete. We did our smallest one closest to the actual frontal. And now I just want to slide this back. If you notice here, this is going to give us that forehead space. So that's why it looks like that. And I want to actually slide it back before I finish the cut. And we're going to cut the inside of this frontal out, and I'll show you what I mean. Look at how easy that comes off. So normally I would stitch this with my sewing machine, but we're not doing that. We're just trying to do something quick and fast for the night. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out. I'm not gonna cut the actual, like where I stitched it. I'm just gonna cut this extra piece out so that way when I lay the lace down on top of my head, it looks natural. And I can reuse this actual frontal, like, because the hair that's on the back, that's 27 piece hair, that's pack hair, it doesn't last. I can take this frontal and use it again. Now I'm just gonna try it on and see how it looks before I do the cut. All right, we got this short look. Make sure you guys check out my actual videos where I show you how to tweeze it step by step. Now you can go in and you can tweeze it. I'm using my water bottle and my tweezers. So what we're gonna do is, this is gonna be the side that I'm going to wear my part on. I parted it slightly. And I just wanna comb this back. That way I have like a nice little, where it'll sway to the front. So I'm just gonna comb everything back. I can cut this on me. I don't have to cut that sideburn now. That way I know exactly how my sideburn is gonna be. But what I wanna do is pull this all the way back, and I wanna cut it at an angle. You can use your shears. I feel like when you cut with a razor, a lot of times it looks most natural when you're cutting weave. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. I'm just gonna comb it back. I'm gonna use this hair as my guide. I'll blend it into that hair and I'll still take it at an angle. If you wanna leave it longer, you can, but by me combing it back, it's gonna leave a lot of that hair long anyway when it comes forward. Just wanna keep it at a 45. I'm not really trying to get it super straight. I want it to have the little fringe look. That way it looks natural. I'm going in with my razor and I'm going to razor cut it. Like I said, I really like using a razor on wigs because it makes it look most natural. I'm going to mold it, and I'm going to mold it just like I'm molding somebody's real hair. And I'm going to wrap it with the wraps, and I'm going to put it under the dryer. This is going to give it a natural look as well and helps to lay the hair perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna use my Thermal Shield by Ultimate Silk. I love this. It's really lightweight, a lightweight sheen, because I don't like my weave to be oily. So I kind of like lightly spray that on there, give it a little mist. And then I'm going to use some very, very thin flat irons to curl the shorter areas in the back. Now I like to start below and then I'll come back up. So I'm gonna curl some of the shorter parts first. Okay, so I'm going in with my hairspray and I'm going to just start curling. I usually like to start in the top or the middle portion and work my way down, and then I go back to the top. But you'll find what works best for you. That's what's most important. So it's easy for you to get that curl in there, and it doesn't have to be a tight curl. It's just a bump. All right, so this unit is what you would call like semi-glueless, but we are going to be using our bow hole lace tape just to hold it temporarily. But the first thing you want to do is wipe your face off, guys. Don't use alcohol. I'm always telling you guys not to use alcohol. You can use makeup wipes. You can find the oil-free ones you can use. They even have witch hazel wipes. You can even take micellar water and a little towel and wipe it off. I'm gonna go in with my my makeup wipes. I do have on makeup, so I just want to clean the hairline just a little bit. That way I can make sure my tape is gonna stick good. I'm not doing a ball cap with this because this is the type of unit that I would probably take off daily. So I don't wanna do a ball cap. So I just wanna wipe off that makeup that got right there on that hairline. And I'm going to apply the tape there. But you always want to make sure, guys, I know a lot of people probably don't think this, but you really need to use your bow hole skin protect as well, okay? This is gonna protect you from sweat. And when I say that, sweat has bacteria in it, so you want to protect yourself from that because you're going to have that unit on and you're going to be sweating, and sweat is going to sit up under that lace and you don't want to get irritated. So you want to take your bow hole skin protect, Spray it on. This is just a paper towel. You could do a towel, and you want to dab it on. Don't wipe it on, dab it so that you can see it's glistening. Dab it. It works like deodorant. It's gonna block sweat and it's gonna help your unit last long. So do that with your glue installs, also with your tape installs. On your tape, you wanna make sure that you look at this tape because they come in very wide chunks. I've done this on several videos. This is a big block. You don't need this whole entire block on your face, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it. You can cut it in half, so you can cut it in 2s, 3s, or 4s. I'm gonna cut it in half. Right? When you cut it in half, another thing that's important is you look for the slit in the middle. There's a slit right here. You don't want to cut with that groove. Cut against it. It all depends on how you're holding it. Horizontal, vertical, but you know, it just depends on how you hold it. The main thing is to look for that groove right there, okay? When you cut it like that, good thing about it is when you lie it on your skin, it's gonna be so easy to get it off because that slit is right there in the middle. You'll be able to work from left to right and remove it easy. You can use your nails or you can use tweezers. It's up to you. All right, so for me, I like to cut my lace first. You don't have to. It just depends on what you're doing. A lot of people like to cut their lace after. But for me, it's easier for me to get mine on. I can see what I'm doing on myself. So I'm just gonna cut it. And you've seen me do this in several videos. If you haven't, go and watch my customizing videos where you can see how I detail a lot of my wigs, how I cut them first. And I even show you how you can do it if you don't wanna cut it first. But these right here are my zigzag shears, and that's what I like to cut it with. Sometimes I do the razor, and it's just totally up to you and what you're comfortable with. When I put it on, I am gonna cut that on so I can cut those sides. All right, guys, I'm cutting that lace and I'm putting it on, and you can notice using those zigzag shears makes it look most natural. Now I'm gonna go in that part using my contouring cream. You can use whatever color matches you. I don't like to use a liquid foundation. Okay, so now that I'm finished, I'm gonna go in with my hair paste. It's by Queen May, and I'll put everything in the caption below. But this stuff right here, it really smooths everything out. I love it. When I first used it, I didn't know that you didn't curl with it. So when I went and looked at her videos, I saw that this is a pomade that you put on after you're finished. I'm just putting it on I'm gonna turn around. I'm just putting it on the short areas just to give it like a sleek look. And that's basically it, and comb it in and you're basically done. It's so smooth. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe below.